Welcome back everyone. We have another round of great deals for your Nintendo Switch. If you enjoy the video, please drop a like before you head out. And with that, let's go ahead and dive in. Alright, and we'll start with Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, which is an emotionally driven adventure game that tells the story of two brothers on a quest to find a cure for their ailing father. The Switch version introduced a cooperative mode, allowing two players to control each brother individually, or you can also control both brothers with each thumbstick on a single controller. It's a unique gameplay mechanic that makes the game stand out. On top of that, the art and animation is great, the story is compelling, and you should get about 4 to 5 hours of gameplay before wrapping up. Make sure to check it out. It's marked down to just $2.99. Full Panic is a quirky and unconventional multiplayer action puzzle game that features over 100 different levels where players control cue balls, navigating various environments from jungles to cities, each filled with creativity and themed around something new. The game offers a unique blend of puzzle solving and action, and while the distinctive art style and humor do definitely contribute to the charm of the game, it may wear thin pretty quickly for some of you out there. With that said, the performance is great on the Switch, and right now you can pick it up for just $2.99. ScourgeBringer is a fast-paced roguelike platformer where players take on the role of Kyra, a warrior exploring a mysterious structure filled with ancient machines and formidable adversaries. The game emphasizes fluid combat and movement with mechanics that encourage swift attacks, dashes, and aerial maneuvers. The procedurally generated levels ensure that the experience is always fresh with every new playthrough. Do keep in mind that this is one of the more difficult games in the genre. It's unforgiving for real, but the pixel art and dynamic soundtrack, coupled with the challenge, make it a must-play in my opinion. Right now you can pick it up for just $3.39. Enter and Exit the Gungeon is a bundle that gives you both of these great twin-stick shooters. The first one is more of a dungeon crawler with an isometric view and a heavier focus on exploration. The second game changes to a side view and has you working your way back up and out of the dungeons. Now for me, I think the first game is a lot better personally, but both of these games are top tier indies that offer a ton of content and massive replay value. Right now the bundle is marked down at an all-time low, just $3.99, and that is a steal. The Serious Sam collection brings together several entries from the first-person shooter series, offering players intense, fast-paced action against hordes of enemies. Now the collection includes Serious Sam HD: The First Encounter, The Second Encounter, and Part 3, along with all of the expansions. One thing to note is while the first two titles do run pretty smoothly here on the Switch, Part 3 does have a few significant performance issues, including frame rate drops and graphical glitches, which will definitely impact the overall experience. Despite these drawbacks though, the collection provides a nostalgic trip for fans of classic shooters, but I fear that newcomers may find the dated mechanics a little less appealing, and the issues with Part 3 will definitely put a damper on the whole thing. Still though, if you're interested, the bundle is on sale for just $4.49. Death's Door is an action-adventure game where players control a crow tasked with reaping souls in a world untouched by death. The game features a blend of exploration, puzzle solving, and combat, with the focus on precise timing and strategy. The art style is charming, and the story should take more than 10 hours to wrap up. The gameplay draws inspiration from classic Zelda titles, with a modern twist that keeps the experience fresh. The controls and performance are both great here on the console. It's another hidden gem, and right now you can pick it up for just $4.99. Trek to Yomi is a cinematic action-adventure game that pays homage to classic samurai films through its use of black and white visual presentation and dynamic camera angles. Players assume the role of Hiroki, a young swordsman on a quest for vengeance and redemption. The gameplay combines side-scrolling combat with exploration, featuring a combat system that emphasizes timing and precision. It does have a few limitations and graphical drawbacks versus other consoles, of course, but it is still a relatively good time here on the Switch, and right now it's marked down to just $4.99, again, an all-time low. Golf Story is a unique blend of RPG and golf mechanics, offering players a quirky, story-driven adventure set across 8 diverse golf courses. The game features engaging side quests, mini-games, and a variety of golf challenges, making it more than just a sports title. The pixel art visuals and humorous dialogue create a charming experience, while the mix of light RPG elements and traditional golf gameplay keeps things feeling fresh. You should get about 15 to 20 hours. It offers a great amount of content, and right now it's at an all-time low, just $284. Jump King is a challenging platformer that tasks players with ascending a vertical tower in pursuit of the legendary Smokin' Hot Babe. The gameplay centers on precise jumping mechanics, where you have to carefully gauge the power and angle of every jump. A single miscalculation can result in a significant fall and having to backtrack a long way. Now, this adds to the game's difficulty, which some people love and some find frustrating. The minimalistic controls and pixel art style contribute to the straightforward yet demanding nature of the gameplay, and it is a game of trial and error at times. Again, I know that can be frustrating, but if you're up to it, it's marked down to a new low at just $389. Bloodstained: Curse of the Moon is a retro-style action platformer inspired by classic Castlevania games. Players control Zangetsu, a demon slayer who can recruit 3 additional characters, allowing for strategic gameplay choices. Now, the game features multiple paths, alternate endings, and a satisfying mix of tight platforming and challenging combat. The runtime is around 3 to 5 hours per playthrough, so the replayability comes from changing up those choices and, of course, the difficulty options. It runs great here on the Switch, and for any fan of the genre, it's a steal at $4.99. Kao the Kangaroo is a 3D platformer that revives the early 2000s mascot-driven genre. Players control Kao, a boxing kangaroo, on a quest to uncover the truth behind his father's disappearance. Now, the game features vibrant environments, collectible items, and combat sequences against various different enemies. And while it captures the nostalgic feel of classic platformers, there were definitely some issues at launch, both with performance and overall gameplay. Now, a lot of that has been patched up though, and there is a secret sale going on right now. If you head over to the eShop and pick up Coloring Book free, we talked about this in the past, but if you haven't done it, pick up Coloring Book free. It'll drop the price for this one all the way down to just $190. Otherwise, you can pick it up for $449 at regular sale price, but honestly, there's no reason not to take advantage of the little workaround that you can do and save a few bucks. Alright everyone, and now for this week's new game spotlight. The wonderful folks over at Xbox gave me a key for the upcoming game called Avowed, and it's the newest open world RPG from Obsidian Entertainment. The game launches on the 18th, but if you pre-ordered it, they did give us 5-day early access to go ahead and get started our first adventure. Now, after about 5 to 6 hours, I can definitely say that the game has been incredible so far. It feels a lot like Skyrim, but they just took a bunch of buckets of neon paint and just started spreading it everywhere, onto the animals, onto the plants, on everything. Right off the break, you have a pretty robust character creation system, and then you're thrown into the story right away. You set off on a quick tutorial, and then once you get to the first major city, the game opens up and you have the freedom to continue working on the main quest, or you can go exploring and doing side quests. Now, I think the voice acting has been pretty solid overall, and there are a ton of NPCs that you can talk to. Another highlight for me has been the combat, which again feels a lot like a more polished version of the combat that you would find in games like Skyrim. In fact, if you played games like that, even the control scheme feels familiar. Now, the game does have a few issues for sure. I had to reload a save once as enemies were not spawning in that I needed to kill in order to progress through that section of the story, so there was really nothing I could do but restart. And there are a few weird graphical bugs here and there, but most of it feels familiar, stuff that I remember seeing all the way back to games like Oblivion. So I guess I'm just kind of used to it, and it is surprising that they still haven't kind of worked some of that stuff out, but it didn't really hurt the overall experience at all. Again, I want to thank Keymailer and Xbox for hooking me up with an early access code so that I could share it with you all here on the channel, and thank you guys that come through week after week. Honestly, you're the reason that I sometimes am able to get a big game like this early. So thank you big time. Alright everyone, here are some other deals to check out while you're already on the eShop.
Show must go on.
Where's Chris?
Alright everyone, that wraps up today's episode. If you enjoyed the video and you enjoy gaming content like this, make sure to leave a like down below and drop a comment. Let me know if there's any games that you'll pick up. Oh, and also, if you're new here, subscribe and become part of the crew. Much love everyone. Catch you on the next one.